Hello and welcome to today's English speaking podcast. I'm Dania and today's topic focuses on prioritization. So basically, I will be explaining the meaning of prioritization, like what is actually prioritization, the steps that can be used to prioritize your activities, and some of the words that you can use in speaking with others about prioritization. Another thing, if you have other topics that you want me to focus on, please let me know in the comments below. So, in this case, let's start and not to keep you waiting. So, what is actually prioritization? Prioritization means deciding which tasks or things are most important and doing them first. Meaning that, let's say, for example, you have a lot of things to do. Like maybe you have schoolwork, maybe you have work projects, maybe you have house chores, or maybe you need to go out, you need to call friends. I mean, you have a lot of things to do and you have no idea where to start from. So, in this case, you need to ask yourself which of these things is the most important? Which of these things needs your attention? So, in this case, you need to start with the most important thing, the thing that you need to finish first. Maybe the deadline is very near, maybe you have some submissions. So, in this case, you need to prioritize the list. You need to start working on the most important thing and then goes to the least important. So, this is how you can prioritize your activities. Because once you prioritize your activities, you won't be stressed, you won't be anxious, you won't feel angry at yourself and things like that. Why? Because everything is organized in your list. So, this is how you can prioritize your activities. So, for now, we need to look at the words that you can use to speak about prioritization. Prioritize, that means to arrange or deal with things in order of importance. So, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, when you need to prioritize your activities, that means you need to arrange them. You need to ask yourself which is more important. Alright, so this is how you can prioritize. Now, let's have a look at the example to know more about the use of prioritize in a sentence. I need to prioritize my homework. Why? Because it's due tomorrow before I play video games. So what's happening here? Here we have like two things, the homework and the video games. But which one is important? Of course, the homework. And in this case, we can use prioritize my homework. That means I need to start working on my homework and then the video games. Let's have a look at another word. Urgent. Something that needs to be done right away or very soon. Urgent, that means something that you can't postpone. You can't say, oh, I will do it later on. No. Why? Because it is really, really urgent. That means you really need to do it right now. It can't be postponed to maybe to the evening or to the next day. All right. So now let's have a look at the example. It is urgent that I finish this project today. Why? Because the deadline is tomorrow. So what is happening here? We are using urgent. Why? Because of the project that is due tomorrow, and because it is we have to submit the project tomorrow, so there is no way for it to be postponed. Like we have to do it today. That means today. We don't have any other options, and this is how you can use urgent in a sentence. Deadline. Deadline means the latest time or date by which something must be done. The deadline. So when you have a deadline, that means you need to finish something. So let's say, for example, the deadline is tomorrow. That means we need to finish the project or the work by today. Why? Because We have to submit it by tomorrow. So the deadline, that means the last day for completing something. Now let's have a look at the example. I have a deadline for my science project on Friday, so I need to work on it every day this week. So what's happening? We have a deadline. So when is the deadline? This Friday. And because of the deadline, I need to work on it every day to complete it before Friday. So this is how you can use deadline. And by the way, if you have any questions regarding what I have been explaining on this video, please feel free to let me know in the comments below. So for now, let's continue with more words that you can use in speaking about prioritization. Manage. Manage means to handle or control tasks, time, or responsibilities. Manage. Example: I need to manage my time better so I can finish my homework and relax. So what's happening? Here the speaker maybe is not able, or maybe has difficulties in handling the task. Maybe for example, like starting working on the task for a few minutes and then stopping for a while to check the phone, to check on social media, things like that. So that is why, like, having some difficulties handling this particular responsibility, and that is why we need to use the word manage. Manage, that means we need to deal, we need to handle something so we can control it. Another word: time management. Time management refers to the way you organize and plan how long you spend on different tasks. Meaning that you have a lot of tasks to do, and so in this case you need to manage your time. So maybe you spend 30 minutes on one task, 1 hour on another, maybe an hour and a half for another task, things like that. But how can you manage your time? Based on the importance of the task. This is number one. Number two, about you need to look at the amount of things that you need to do for completing the task. So if the task needs a lot of attention, that means maybe you need to spend 1 hour. If the task is very easy to handle, then maybe you can spend 30 minutes, things like that. So you are the one who can manage the time wisely, and that is why managing time is really, really important. Now let's have a look at the example. Good time management helps me finish my assignments without feeling rushed. What does that mean? It means that by managing my time wisely, by knowing how much time I need to finish each of my assignments, that will actually help me to feel relaxed, to not feel anxious, and things like that. So that is why managing time is really important. And if you have if you need me to focus more on how to manage time, please let me know in the comments below. Another word is focus. Focus means to concentrate or pay attention to one thing. What does that mean? Let's say you have a lot of things to do, but for sure it is not possible to focus on all of them. You need to focus on just one thing. So how to do it? By prioritizing, by asking yourself which of these things is the most important, and then you need to start with it. You need to focus, you need to really pay a lot of attention on what you are doing until you finish it up. So this is the meaning of focus. Now let's have a look at the example. I need to focus on my math homework before I check my phone. Meaning that to finish the math homework, I need maybe to set my phone on a silent mode, or maybe switch it off. Why? Because I need to focus. I should not have any distractions from my phone. And this is how we can use the word focus in sentences. Postpone. Postpone means to delay or put off doing something until later. So if calling your friend is not really that important, for example, that means you need to postpone, you need to call your friend later on until you finish your project, until you finish your task. So this is how you can prioritize things. Postponing, that means you need to put off the least important things, the things that are not really that important, put them off, postpone them until you finish. Example, I had to postpone cleaning my room because I needed to finish my project first. So, this is how you can use postpone in sentences. I need to postpone cleaning. With postpone, we need to use ing, like postpone cleaning, postpone working, postpone calling, postpone doing something, alright? So this is really important for you to pay attention to. Like with postpone, we can use the ing. Breakdown. Breakdown, that means to divide a big task into smaller, easier parts. So let's say you have a big project and you have no idea how to start. You need to break it down. You need to start with like step by step. You need to brainstorm the ideas of the project. So maybe at first start to researching, or maybe start reading a bit about the project and then do the research, or maybe, and after that maybe start with the first paragraph, the second, the third, things like that. Let's have a look at the example. I broke down my research paper into smaller tasks like choosing a topic, doing research, and writing each section. So this is how you can break down something. So in this case, the research paper is a big project. So what happened? We first started with choosing the idea, or maybe choosing the topic, and after that researching on the topic and then writing the sections. So this is how you can break down a big project or a big thing into smaller parts. Multitask. Multitask, when you try to do more than one thing at the same time. Like let's say cleaning plus calling and cooking, doing three things at the same time. Let's have a look at the example. Multitasking didn't work for me. I was trying to study and watch TV, and I didn't finish either. What does that mean? It seems that, like, for example, this speaker, right, was trying to study while watching TV, but doing two activities at the same time did not really work. And in this case, what happened in the end? Nothing happened. He didn't finish working and also did not enjoy watching the TV program. So this is how we can use the word multitasking in sentences. So basically, this is kind of everything that is related to today's topic. I really hope today's topic is very useful for you and helped you to understand how you can use these kind of words to speak about prioritization. If you like this kind of topics, please let me know in the comments. But if you prefer to focus more on grammar, like, because if you know me well, I have actually been speaking about grammar for so long. So I'm not exactly sure if you want me to focus more on grammar, or it's okay to dive into speaking parts and also maybe some writing in the future. I mean, just let me know what you prefer, all right? So, in this case, thank you so much for joining today's English speaking podcast. And I will be looking forward to having you on the upcoming video. So, have a great weekend and take care. Bye bye.